Hey, Frank. In many respects, one of your better games of the bubble, but you didn't close it out. And I guess what stood out to you about, in particular, AD's performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought he just didn't shoot the ball that well. They doubled him in the post. He found guys. We're getting better with our post spacing and the shot quality we're getting when we get doubled. So I think that's a positive. I thought he played really good defense, for most of the night. I thought he played well, just didn't shoot well.
Hey, Frank, you mentioned you'll do some experimenting with lineups and such. How do you evaluate progress given that setting, and then also what are you still looking for as you get closer to the playoffs?
Yeah, we're continuing to look at different guys, and tonight was Talon and Quinn Cook and Dud's turn to get some significant minutes, and I thought all three of those guys played really well. I thought our general feel and flow offensively was the best it's been in a few games. This stretch right here where we're basically playing elite defenses the first five games, and a unique defense with Houston if they're not ranked high. It's going to strengthen us. There's been some struggles that have, been a little bit frustrating, but when we're playing against great defenses, that's the best way to prepare and tighten up all your execution pieces. So, really optimistic about how we looked offensively tonight and about the game overall.
Frank, do you want or hope to have more of a nailed-down rotation at some point, or do you feel like given what the roster is, you're still going to have some in and some out as the bench, or even as the playoffs start?
Yeah, we'll continue to evaluate, and we'll continue to use the next two games to look at different things. And I've got a good feel for what our playoff rotation is going to look like, but there's some wiggle room, and we're going to continue to evaluate.
Hey Frank, it's Bill. I'm wondering what do you still need to see from your non-LeBron lineups? What are you looking for most when he's off the floor?
Well, we got to get Kuz involved and AD involved. Usually those two guys are playing in a small ball lineup with Rondo is the lineup that's been really good for us. Obviously Doe's out, so we're looking at a lot of different ball handlers with that group, and can just continuing to evaluate. But we become a spread pick and roll team. We have matchups if we want to go inside to AD, and some of that stuff's been very effective for us.
All right, Allison.
Great. Tanya Ganguli?
Is your intention for the next two games to continue to just experiment and try out different lineups, or do you intend at some point to play in the playoff lineup and see how they does?
Just continue to experiment. We have like a week between the Nuggets game and our first playoff game, so like I said, I have an idea of what that rotation is going to look like. There's still going to be some evaluation over the next two games, but we'll get through this Denver game. Then we got 2 days before the SAC game, and just figure out how to best manage that game in terms of rest and rhythm and all those types of things. We'll continue to evaluate.
You said before that one of the goals you have in seeding games is to get Dion, JR, Markieff kind of blended in. Those guys did not play tonight. What kind of factors do you balance when like you said, you want to get some other guys in front, but then those guys still need time to blend in?
Yeah, it's been a balancing act. There's been sort of bumps in the road with integration, like you would with any new player. Going with the guys that we went with tonight, just gave us a little bit more familiarity, and I thought it was important for our guys to sort of find a rhythm, with some of the guys that they're more familiar with, and take a step back on integration of the new guys. And, I think we'll probably return next game with that. But, we'll sleep on it, we'll evaluate, and we'll see where we're at in 2 days.
Is there an individual factor that would make this decision for you? Like, are you going to prioritize guys who can shoot it, guys who can guard? Is there one thing over another?
Not one thing. Each player on our roster brings different strengths and weaknesses, and we'll see what's needed. Who we're playing in the playoffs could dictate that. obviously with a defensive matchup or a need offensively, that could play into it. But, I believe in all the guys that we have, the guys three guys that didn't play tonight, three guys that did, and obviously the main rotation guys. I feel really good about what they look like tonight.
Hey,
We'll have
Frank.
2 more questions. Let's go to Melissa.
Thank you. Hey, Frank, what have you seen from Quinn this season, just in his willingness to stay ready when his number's called, and also just how LeBron has mentored him? What have you seen from that relationship and just from his readiness standpoint?
Well, Quinn is such a positive for us in the locker room and within our culture. That's where it starts with him. Just an A+ attitude, and the strength of our team has been our togetherness and our chemistry. So it starts there with him. He's a knockdown 3-point shooter. That has proven to be able to do things off the bounce. He's a smaller guard, so certain matchups are difficult for him on the defensive end. But he gives us a lot of pop offensively.
Hey, Frank, it's Dave again. What's the push and pull like of giving playing time to new guys versus guys who have been here all year, or giving playing time to a guy who's been here all year, like a guy like Talon, but who's rookie versus veterans? And do you communicate with guys on your team going into a game like tonight, like, you won't play, I'm going with this? What's that like for you?
Yep, I do. I think there was one game a couple of games ago where I thought I was going to get Markieff in and didn't talk to him, and he ended up not playing. But typically, I will always let guys know what their night's going to look like. Even down to when I'm going to put you in the first quarter or the middle of the second quarter. What the script looks like. Obviously, the rotation always can be adjusted with fouls and rhythm and all those types of things. But I try to over-communicate what their night is going to look like when they play. And obviously, if there's a chance they don't play, I'll let them know as well.